What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. Last time we went back into the past because we need to go speak with Inspector Chelmy, but we need to swing by Gressenheller first to Layton's office. I don't know why, but for something. I need to stop by my office and check something. That's pretty almost word for word what I just said. After that, we'll go find Inspector Chelmy. There you are, Professor. I see you canceled lecture again this week. Let me guess. Are you investigating another strange mystery? Hello, Rosetta. Yes, something rather pressing has come up. But I'll be sure to hold a makeup session later. Oh, no worries, Mr. L. As long as I get my credits, I'm not sweating it. Now, what kind of attitude is that to have, Rosetta? If you want those credits, you'll have to earn them. And as your paper is on the stone relics of Cornwall, I'd say you have your work cut out for you. As your advisor, I insist that you check in with me weekly until your paper is shaped up. I didn't mean to imply I wasn't interested in the work. And I'm very much looking forward to our sessions together. Not every girl has the privilege of receiving private instruction from the great Professor Layton. What I mean to say is that you should check in during office hours. Oh, you don't have to tell me twice, Professor. I'll see you next week. What a hooer. I don't know what that girl's up to, but it can't be good, Professor. She's gonna use her feminine wiles to get an A. Nonsense, my boy. I'm sure it's all in your head. You can't fool me. Did you see the look she gave you? She's a man-eater. Woo! Yuck! You know what those are? Oh, no, whatever that means. Oh dear. Oh yeah, she eats men. Ba-da-ba. Going the wrong way. Herschel, my boy, I've been looking for you. Hello, sir. Didn't you receive my notice that I was on holiday? Oh, that, yes. Everything's in order there. It's something else that I need your help with. Let me guess. His daughter has a puzzle that he can't solve. In that case, please tell me how I can be of assistance to you, sir. Lean in a bit, my boy. What I'm about to ask you, well, I wouldn't like anyone else to hear. The thing is, I have a puzzle I simply can't work through on my own. My darling granddaughter brought it to me, but I can't for the life of me solve the blasted thing. I can see how that would be quite vexing. Vexing is putting it politely. It's hard to feel like the king of your castle, when you can't even solve your grandchild's puzzle. It's a rather serious issue for me, Herschel. It certainly sounds that way, sir. Yes. So I take it I can count on you to help me through this thing. But of course. Number 48. Here are some matchsticks that spell out 100M. Move one of the matches into the garbage to display a length that is 1/1000th of that size. Okay. Like 100 meters. 100M. Move one of them into the garbage. So you want 1 meter? Wait, no. 1/1000th, you say. Oh my god. Oh, look. Okay, so this is millimeters, right? This is 100 millimeters? But look what happens when you do this. And you get 10 centimeters. Right? Is that right? Is that 10 centimeters is 1,000th of a 100 meters? Right? Guys?
Let's see if I've got this right.
Yes?
Well, that's settled.
That's it! My granddaughter's going to flip when she hears how clever her granddad is. I'm glad I can help you with your predicament, sir. Continue lying to your granddaughter. Likewise, by the way, Herschel, I do have one more small favor to ask of you. Certainly. Let's keep the fact that you helped me with this puzzle between you and me and the wall, shall we? I'm sure there's a promotion in there for you if you keep your mouth shut. After all, you've a reputation to maintain with your granddaughter. It'll be our secret. Woohoo! Perceptive as always! And what about you there, young man? Can you keep a secret? I would hate to have to kill you. My lips are sealed. Splendid! For that you have my thanks. One last thing, Herschel. There's a young lady at your office. She said she's waiting for you. I see. You must be talking about Flora.
Oh, hi there, Flora. You two have got some nerve leaving me alone while you go off on another adventure.
Now, Flora, you know that wasn't our intention at all. While we were out investigating one issue, an even more troublesome matter arose.
What kind of troublesome matter? We couldn't have seen it coming, Flora. Honest. Really? Of course, we wouldn't have left you behind on purpose.
Luke is quite right. Do forgive us for our oversight.
Well, okay. Just this once. But you two had better not leave me alone again.
Of course not.
What's done is done, so I guess that there's no point in me stewing over it. You two must be awfully tired from all that running around. I just made a pot of tea. I'll go fetch it. Did you just make a promise to Flora? I believe I may have, and unfortunately this is one promise I fear I may have to break. No, Professor, that's terrible. Not to mention very unlike you to go back on your word. Well, I didn't see you doing anything to dissuade the poor girl from coming with us. Besides, you know our current case is fraught with danger. I don't want her to get hurt. Anyway, we need to finish our work here so we can find the inspector. We'd best move quickly. I suppose you're right, Professor. Alright then, what are we looking for here? Somewhere in my office is a leather-bound notebook with a yellow note sticking out of it. Do you think you can help me find it? Aye, aye, Professor, I'm on the case. A leather-bound notebook with a piece of yellow coming out of it. Is this the notebook you're talking about? Why, yes it is. Information concerning the explosion at the Institute of Polydimensional Research. Did you put this notebook together, Professor? I did, piece by piece. Sadly, most of its contents have been removed. You weren't kidding. Most of the pages have been torn out. It's been a while since I opened it last. Let me see. At least the newspaper clippings are intact. What exactly are all these articles from, Professor? I'll explain more on the bus, but for now, we need to get out of here before Flora returns. Wow, dick move. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Like, my heart is breaking right now. Breaking. She didn't even get to go on the full journey last time, in the last game. Oh, I'm so sad. I thought you might be hungry, so I made some little cucumber sand. Where did they go? Oh my god, I hope she follows and goes with them, because that is messed up. How dare you, Layton? To such a nice young girl. He's already turning evil. This is when it begins. About the notebook we picked up at your office, Professor. Exactly what explosion were you researching? It all happened several years ago when you were very small. 2 scientists worked in a physics lab unwittingly caused an explosion during an experiment. The explosion devastated the surrounding area. That must have been all over the news. You'd think so, wouldn't you? However, though many perished in the blast, few records of the accident remain. What happened? That's something I'm still trying to figure out for myself. But answer me this, Luke. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear of an explosion? The explosion of Dr. Stongun's time machine, of course. That was my first thought as well. I have a strong suspicion that these 2 incidents are connected. Why is that? Well, it's nothing more than a hunch, so I really can't say more right now. Oh, Professor, this is our stop. Here we are at Scotland Yard. There's no time to waste. We need to find the inspector. Welcome to Scotland Yard, headquarters of the London Police. How may I be of service? We're here to see Inspector Chelmy. Will you please let me know we'd like to speak with him? Unfortunately, the inspector is terribly busy right now. What's more, I have strict orders to issue puzzles to all visitors. A dangerous place. Such a dangerous place. In recent years, this city has been suffering from an increase in accidents and crime. According to a survey, there's one place in the city where there is a higher average of injured people and deaths throughout the year. That's pretty grim. Where could it be? Circle the name of the place. One place where there is a higher average of injured people and deaths. It's gotta be the hospital, right? That's where all the injured people would go. Has to be the hospital.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Ah, that was wicked easy.
Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
There might be a lot of dangerous places, but the hospital is where injured and sick people gather throughout the year. That's correct, all right. Tremendous work as usual, Professor Layton. Oh, do you 2 know each other? Of course, that is, I know the professor. How could any self-respecting puzzle nut not know the name of Layton? I'm a huge fan. I assume the puzzle I just solved was one of your own design. You got me there. I just couldn't pass up the chance to have the Professor Layton solve my puzzle. I'll call ahead to let the inspector know you're coming. His office is just up those stairs on the 2nd floor. Got a bit of a cucumber face, don't ya? Thank you very much. Goodbye, cucumber face. Nothing like a nice cup of tea to soothe jangled nerves. Good day, Barton. Good day to you, sir. Barton, we wish to have a few words with the inspector, but I don't see him here. I don't see him here either. I was led to believe he was here in his office. Yes, he was, then he got up and left. It was all very sudden. I too am puzzled by his sudden disappearance. Barton, I sincerely hope you're not spreading misinformation about me. I just told you that I needed to pop downstairs to see the commissioner. Ah, yes, you did say that, sir. Use your ears, Constable. You'll never move up in the force if you don't learn to listen. Greetings, Inspector. Apologies for not saying hello, Layton. What a surprise to see you. Welcome to my humble office. Forgive the sudden intrusion, Inspector. I heard that you're leading the investigation on the Prime Minister's disappearance. I am? And as it's you I'm speaking with, I'll be quite candid. This case has me completely baffled. Dozens of eyewitnesses, myself included, and not one blasted lead to work with. Since you were there, I might as well hear your take on things. Have a seat. I was questioned the day of the incident, but maybe our chat will uncover some new theories. We've already established that you were there when the explosion occurred. Yes, I certainly was. Then you must believe, as I do, that there was no way anyone could have survived that blast. Not that quack stun gun, not his staff, and though I hate to say it, not the Prime Minister. But what confounds me is that not a single trace of the lot remains. What do you mean by that? What I mean is, we've canvassed the whole place and haven't found a thing related to the victims. No bodies, no clothing, and no shoes. Not even so much as a pocket watch or ring. All we recovered from the scene was the 10 tons of scrap metal that used to be the machine. No people, though. There were 8 of them, sir. Did you just say something now, Constable? There were 8 of them, sir. 8 people vanished. Ah, yes. According to eyewitness reports, 8 people vanished from the scene. That group consisted of Stan Gun, a handful of his assistants, and the Prime Minister. Now, how in the world do 8 people just vanish? It's like a blasted magic trick. Don't worry, Inspector. From what I've heard, the Prime Minister is still alive. Ah, young Luke, be a good lad and shut your mouth, alright? The adults are having a serious conversation here. If you're bored, why don't you and Barton go play in the hall? That sounds fun. Inspector, I assure you Luke isn't making this up. There's a very real possibility that Bill Hawks is alive. What? Well, don't leave me here scratching my head like a fool. Explain, Layton. Before I do, I must ask a favor of you first. And what would that be? Do you recall the explosion that occurred at the Polydimensional Research Institute 10 years ago? What did you just see? I'll take that as a yes. It is imperative that I see any and all case files on that incident. You just might be onto something here, Layton. What do you know? Nothing at the moment, but I have a suspicion your current case and this old one are linked in some way. I'd like to help, really I would, but those files are sealed and require top-level clearance. Even a high-ranking officer like myself would have trouble getting his hands on those. Well, get Grosky on the case! I'd hoped a man of your status might have the influence necessary to acquire those documents. Unfortunately, it seems I may have hoped for too much. I'm sorry to have asked the impossible of you. Wait just a moment, Layton. I might be able to get you access to the case file. Excellent. I'd be extremely grateful for that. Look how manipulative he's becoming. Just one thing, though. These documents don't come for free. I want to hear everything you know or suspect about the Prime Minister's whereabouts. Of course, once I've seen the documents and I'm sure my theory is sound, every detail will be yours. Barton, head down to the archive room and find those old files. Tell them you're there on my orders. Right away. Those files can't leave the archive, but you can read them here. There. Head downstairs past the lobby into the basement. Much appreciated, Inspector. Visit the police archive, which is down below. Hello? Welcome to the archive. I've gathered all the files pertaining to the explosion. Thank you, Barton. Your hard work has saved us considerable time. Ew, these documents are all mildewy and covered in dust. Anybody? No dust. You're the first to touch them in a long time. Hand some of those over and I'll help you look through them. Where should I start? I appreciate the offer, but I should handle these myself. They are top secret after all. Of course, I understand. Wait just a bit longer, Luke. I'll finish up here soon. Now, what is he reading in secret, I wonder? Wow, that took a while. What am I doing wrong? You know, it seems like the inspector's always yelling at you. Don't you ever get tired of it? It's not so bad. Sure, he scolds me, but only when he has good reason to. Which is often, unfortunately. Oh. I make a lot of mistakes, so I get yelled at a lot. He's always telling me I lack insight on cases and don't, pay attention. Which is completely understandable. I just get distracted and then I make mistakes. Ah, chin up, Barton. Everyone makes mistakes. Heck, I make them all the time. I goof up pretty bad sometimes. Why, just the other day I found myself in the most ridiculous predicament. You need to get your car into the parking spot marked by the flag in the middle of the grid below, okay? As you can see, you can only enter the spot from one side. Oh, okay, yeah, I see that. When you encounter an X, you must turn left or right. When you encounter a circle, you must continue going straight. Also, your car is a bit of a clunker and can't go in reverse. Draw a line from your car into the parking spot. Alright, I see what you're saying. So we should do this in reverse. That makes the most sense. So down, left, or right? Something like this? No, that doesn't quite work. Has to go straight. Something like this would work. So... Oh, that's... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize the car was at the bottom of the screen. Okay. So we did this route, which does make sense. Wait. Does this make sense?
How about this?
Wow, that was way harder than I thought it was gonna be.
knew it.
For what, like a 15-pointer? I completely messed it up once too. That's not easy. Wonderful Luke. Wonderful work, Luke. I bet you never give the professor any cause to yell at you. Well, he's not really the yelling type. But it's true that I never let a puzzle go unsolved. I've got a reputation of his to protect. I've got his reputation to protect, I'm sorry. Oh dear. I never considered the possibility that my goof-ups would harm the inspector's reputation. Don't worry, Barton. What's most important is to try your best. If only I could convince the inspector to see things that way. Luke, come here. I think I found what we came here for. What is it, Professor? But why don't we save that for the next episode tomorrow? So stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!